The 12 Dancing Princesses. There once was a king who had 12 beautiful daughters. They slept together with their beds side by side in a great hall. Every night the king locked and bolted the door to the hall. In the morning, though, he always found that the princess's shoes were worn out. Nobody knew what had happened. One day the king said,
"If any man can find out where the princesses have been going every night, he can choose one of them to be his wife. Someday, that man will become the king. But if he fails to give me the answer after 3 days, he shall be put to death."
Soon, one man came and presented himself to the king. He was brought to a small room next to the great hall where the princesses slept. He tried very hard to keep himself awake, but he could not. He also fell asleep on the second and third night. Since he failed to find the answer, he was put to death. Many others tried as well, but lost their lives. One day, a poor soldier decided to give it a try. On his way to the palace, he met an old woman who gave him a place to stay for the night. "Where are you going?" asked the old woman.
"I would like to try and discover where the king's daughters go at night. Who knows? Maybe I can become a king,"
answered the poor soldier. "Well, that may not be as hard as you think. Listen carefully. Do not drink the wine the princesses bring to you, and then pretend to sleep." Then she gave him a short cloak and continued, "Wear this and you will be invisible."
"Thank you, lady. Thank you for your kindness,"
said the poor soldier excitedly, and off he went before the king. He was well received and was brought to the small room next to the great hall where the princesses slept. Then night came, and while the soldier was preparing to go to sleep, the eldest princess gave him a glass of wine. Remembering the old lady's advice, he managed to fool the princess into thinking that he had drunk the wine. Then he pretended to fall asleep by snoring loudly. When the princesses next door heard his snoring, they dressed up and put on their dancing shoes. When they were ready, the eldest princess went to her bed and knocked on it. The bed sank into the floor, revealing a stairway on which they walked down. The soldier quickly put on his invisible cloak and ran after them, following closely behind the youngest princess. While they were underground, they walked past 2 rows of trees. All the leaves on the trees were silver, glittering and shining.
"I should take some to show the king,"
the soldier thought. And he broke off a twig, which he kept. Later, they came to a place where all the leaves on the trees were gold, and then into another place where the leaves seemed to be made of diamonds. The soldier broke off and took a twig from each place. Then they came to a great lake, where there were 12 little boats, each with a handsome prince in it. One by one, the princesses went on the boat with a prince. The soldier managed to squeeze in with the youngest princess. When they had crossed the lake, they entered a splendid castle. Eventually, they entered a hall where beautiful music was being played. They danced all night, and so much that the princess's shoes were all worn out. And then they made their way back. The soldier ran ahead of them, and when he got back to his room next to the great hall, he pretended to sleep. When the princesses returned, they saw that he was sleeping peacefully.
Good. He is still sleeping. No one will know where we've been,
said the eldest. They changed back into their bedclothes and went to sleep. The next morning, the soldier wanted to make sure that the princesses weren't going anywhere else, so he did not tell anyone what had happened. He followed the princesses again on the second and third nights. The next day, he went before the king.
Where did my daughters go every night, and how do they wear out their shoes so fast?
Asked the king.
They go to an underground castle to meet and dance with 12 princes,
said the soldier confidently. And he showed everyone the twigs he had collected. The king asked his daughters about the soldier's story, and they finally confessed everything.
Good work, soldier! Which of my daughters do you want for a wife?
The king asked the soldier. The soldier picked the eldest princess, and the wedding took place the very next day.